Coming up on UT 10 News, an update on construction around campus.
And how a local haunted house is giving back to the community.
Plus, Courtney Steck takes us to Savage Arena, where the women's volleyball team served up a tough game against the Cardinals. Your news in 10 minutes starts now. Thanks for joining us. I'm Madison Humphrey.
And I'm Alexis Wheatley. Road construction. It's seemingly never-ending cycle around Northwest Ohio, and when it impacts UT commuters trying to get to and from campus, the frustration that goes with it can be all the more intense.
Reporter Kenny Cruz brings us the latest on the project on Bancroft Street.
The city of Toledo began road construction on Bancroft Street in mid-August to replace old sewer lines. Construction was said to be completed by September 20th. But the completion date has been moved to the end of October.
I'm happy that we're going to have a new paved road, because otherwise we'd be complaining about the road if we're not complaining about the construction. However, why didn't they do it during the summer before all the students came back?
While I was on the scene, city workers hit a Columbia gas line. Toledo Fire Department Battalion Chief Douglas Hack said an excavator tugged on a gas line. Evacuations were not necessary, but officials are monitoring buildings along Bancroft. Until the road construction is complete, a detour is in place for westbound Bancroft. Students, employees, and visitors are encouraged to use the west entrance on Secor or the south entrance down on Dorr Street. I'm Kenny Cruz for UT 10 News.
A local haunted house is providing an outreach in the wake of the ongoing opioid epidemic.
Aside from providing its audience with adrenaline-filled scares, Distracted is partnering with Team Recovery, a group fighting for victims of addiction. Emily Lauren joins us live in studio with more information on Distracted. Emily?
Alexis and Madison, this haunted house is not your typical haunted house. What it is doing is providing help for those who need it most. Distracted gives the recovering abusers the opportunity to occupy their idle time, which could otherwise contribute to or trigger a relapse. Volunteering here delivers a sense of stress relief during the recovery process. Besides the recovery houses, Distracted provides opportunities to raise funds for any organization. There is volunteer work all year round, whether it's painting, building, or acting for these groups that wish to raise money.
Raising funds for organizations, but we're also providing opportunities for them to do productive activities.
Although there is much more to recovery than what the volunteers do at the house, Francis says this is just a small piece of helping them along the way. The haunted house will run until November 4th. For ticket prices and times, visit our website. Back to you guys.
The Lucas County Health Department is warning people to stay out of the Maumee River. That's because an algal bloom formed between Promenade and Cullen Parks last week. The health department says contact with the algae could cause anything from a rash to stomach problems. However, UT professor of ecology Thomas Bridgman says the bloom will not impact Toledo's drinking water.
We don't get our drinking water from the Maumee River. We get our drinking water from Lake Erie. Right now, in that location in Lake Erie, the water is actually pretty good.
The health department is expecting to lift the recreational advisory later this week.
According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, 70% of jobs are found through networking.
That's why UT hosted its very first annual speed networking event. Tashana Sewell has the details on how it impacted UT students.
Last Wednesday, Career Services hosted a speed networking event at Barnes & Noble. UT students had the opportunity to talk with alumni, professionals, and future employers.
I just conversed with the alumni and said what I'm thinking of doing, like studying abroad and everything that's going to help me in the future with applying for medical school.
Alumni and staff members gave students tips on building resumes, conducting job interviews, and keeping it professional when starting a conversation with the future employer. Toledo alumni Michelle Carey stressed how important it is to network.
Talking to a bunch of different people and feeling comfortable approaching people you might not know and starting up a conversation and really just engaging and learning about something different.
If you missed this amazing networking opportunity, don't worry. The Career Services will be hosting a career tailgate. For more details, go to our website at ut10news.com. I'm Tashana Sewell from UT 10 News.
On Sunday, organizations took part in a blanket fort building competition. 2,776 blankets were donated to the homeless this year, all thanks to those involved in Wrap Up Toledo. Students were given 2 hours to create a fort that would then be judged. Wrap Up Toledo is known as the kickoff for Tent City, a weekend-long campout for those in need.
People don't really realize how much the homeless really need our help.
Organizations Tri Delta and Pi Kappa Alpha won overall design, and Pi Kappa Alpha also had the most blankets donated. The blankets will be taken to Tent City as well as local homeless shelters. Over the weekend, men and women in uniform built trust with local children through bowling. The 5th Build a Trust Bowl-a-thon brought the community together at Toledo Sports Center. The kids teamed up with local police, firefighters, and veterans for bowling and fun. Event coordinator George Hayes says it's important to build trust with those in uniform.
I want our men and women in uniform, our police mainly, to know there's a lot of good people out here.
Nearly 600 people attended the event and all lanes were full. Hayes expects more people to come out next year.
Runners from the Toledo area took on the Race for a Cause 5K Saturday morning. This year's race took place on UT's main campus. The top runners in each age group received a medal and a gift card. The organization hosting the event also raffled off several gift baskets to attendees.
The benefits were preceding that neighborhood free clinic, which is a free clinic located downtown that our students volunteer at.
Fontaine adds around 120 runners participated, far surpassing last year's turnout. And according to the American Heart Association, heart disease is the leading cause of death in Lucas County. That's why the Lucas County Health Department hosted World Heart Day at the ProMedica Eviat Institute on Friday. The event raised awareness for heart disease and offered free health services to the community. Toledo Mayor Paula Hicks Hudson says Lucas County's recent health report is concerning.
Our numbers are high for childhood obesity. Our numbers are high for asthma, for cardiac diseases.
Hicks Hudson says heart disease hits close to home, which is why it's her priority to improve Toledo's heart health.
I'm Courtney Steck, and this is your UT10 Sports Report. The Rockets had a very exciting weekend as they played some of the best schools in the MAC West Division, including soccer, as they took on Western Michigan on Sunday. But first, the volleyball team hosted both Ball State and Akron in 2 intense games. Thursday night, the women had a nail-biting start against Ball State. The Cardinals started with an attack that landed them the first point. However, the Rockets answered back with a kill by senior Sage Thomas and a block to shortly follow. The Cardinals trailed closely in hopes of gaining the lead. Although a close match in all 3 sets, the Cardinals still fell short, with outside hitters Thomas and freshman Chloe Klespies leading the game. The Rockets were able to redeem themselves from last week's game with this win in 3 sets. As the Rockets continued their weekend, they went up against the Akron Zips in the MAC. The Zips started off strong, winning the first 6 points in set 1. Freshman Chloe Klespies was determined to steal the game with 6 kills in 3 sets, but Akron won with a kill in the 4th, leading to a 5th set. Rockets dominating the 5th set with kills by the leading players, Thomas, Klespies, and Rachel Vitterick, who made the match point, leaving the Rockets with the 2nd victory for the weekend. Head coach Greg Smith expresses his excitement for next week's game.
Gives us momentum going into next week, and having 2 home matches next weekend with Northern and Western, we needed to have some form of momentum, and so ending this weekend with 2 wins, it's a good start to next weekend.
The women's next game will be Saturday, October 7th in Savage Arena. Finishing out the weekend, the women's soccer team played Western Michigan in hopes of another win after Friday's victory over Northern Illinois. Neither team scored throughout both halves. However, Western Michigan's Grace Labadie had the most attempted shots with 7 and 2 shots on goal. Even after 2 double overtimes, Toledo's goalkeeper Madison Perrin stayed strong, not allowing a single shot through. The Rockets' next game will be at Central Michigan October 5th.
Thanks, Courtney. That's it for UT10 News. For the latest breaking news from campus and bios from all UT10 reporters, go to our website, ut10news.com.
And remember, you can watch the live stream of our newscast production every Tuesday at noon on our YouTube channel. For Alexis Wheatley, Courtney Steck, and all of our crew, I'm Madison Humphrey. Have a great week and stay tuned for more news from the UT campus.